When Uranus shut his children deep below, Gaia could no longer remain only a quiet earth. The soil receives many things. It receives seeds, rain, and even the weight of the dead, but receiving does not mean enduring without end. Gaia is the earth, so her pain does not end as a single tear. It piles up like mountains, deepens like valleys, and slowly heats like pressure held under the ground. While her children were trapped in darkness, that pain must have spread through her whole body. In myth, Uranus is the sky. The sky can seem high and distant, but in this story he comes close as a power that covers and presses down on the earth. He could not endure the strange forms and enormous strength of his children, so he would not let them move out into the world. The beings who had been born were pushed back inside their mother before they could see the light. If we think about it, this is not simply the story of a cruel father. It is the story of an order that fears newly born power and hides it away. Just as the world is about to widen, the power above presses that possibility back into the dark. That is why Gaia becomes angry. She does not love her children because they are perfect. There were titans, cyclopes, and frightening brothers with 100 hands. Some children may have seemed beautiful, and others strange and terrifying, but all of them were lives that came from her. A mother's anger can sometimes last longer than grief. Grief collapses inward, but anger begins to make something. Gaia does not simply weep and wait. She draws a hard substance from the depth of her own body. Myth calls it gray steel, or the hard material often named adamant. This moment is fascinating because Gaia's revenge does not begin with lightning falling from the sky. It begins with a tool made under the earth. She borrows no weapon. From metal born in her own body, with her own hands, she makes a blade. That blade is the sickle. A sickle is originally a tool of the field. It cuts grain, trims grass, and gathers what has ripened. But myth turns this ordinary tool of harvest into something that divides the order of the world. A sickle that extended the hand of gathering life now becomes the secret blade that will cut the rule of the sky. The sickle Gaia makes is not just a weapon. It is the first judgment drawn out by an earth that has endured too long. It is a sign that she will no longer stay pressed down, and a declaration that she will not leave her imprisoned children in darkness. The earth that had only held everything quietly now decides there is something that must be cut. Still, if we see this scene only as satisfying revenge, we miss its important feeling. Gaia does not make the sickle out of joy. What she creates is not an object for a festival, but a cold choice held when no other road seems visible. If an order can be stopped only by cutting someone down, then that order is already deeply sick. Gaia calls her children before her. In front of the children who had endured darkness and pressure, she lays down the blade she has made. The air in this scene must have been very heavy. The mother is angry, the father is still above them like the sky, and the children stand between them for the first time before a choice. To them, the sickle would not have looked like a mere object with a handle. It was the hardened form of their mother's pain, the sharpened voice of hidden brothers, and a signal that the world could never return to what it had been. In life, there are times when silence in a household goes on too long. Everyone knows something is wrong, but no one can speak first. It may look quiet outside, but inside a crack is already growing. Gaia's sickle feels like that kind of silence turned into an object. The sky is still high and strong. The power of Uranus does not disappear at once, but the earth has already begun to move in a different way. The deeper the place that has been pressed, the heavier the force that rises from it. Gaia making the sickle means that a conflict has appeared inside the first family of the world, and it can no longer be hidden. Perhaps this myth remained for so long because the scene is so human. A relationship that began in love can become a prison when seized by fear. Even the name of protection can become pressure when it goes too far. And the person who endured most quietly can one day form the firmest decision. Gaia's anger is not only a feeling that wants to destroy the world. Inside it is a force that wants blocked life to come out again. The sickle she makes is a tool of wound, and also a tool for opening a trapped world. That is why it is frightening and strange at once. Destruction and liberation rest together on the same blade. At that moment, the earth is no longer a silent floor. Gaia changes from one who holds to one who judges. Under the pressure Uranus has made, she draws metal from her own body. sharpens it, and places it before her children. The beginning of the world is not made only of peaceful births. Sometimes anger pressed down for too long becomes a cold tool and makes the first crack under a closed sky.